Okay, it's time for our weekly astrological check-in because I'm prepping for all the stuff that I have to do. And there's a lot going on. Like, I was just getting ready for the end of August, which we have the Mercury going direct, Venus square Mars, Venus enters Libra stuff happening at the end of the month. But I'm going to talk about that in another video because I was looking at September because I was like, well, let's get ready for the next month. September is wild. We have on the 1st of September, Uranus going retrograde and Pluto retrograde entering Capricorn. The last time the Pluto retrograde is going to be going back into Capricorn. May those of us who have any placements at 29 to 23 degrees of a cardinal sign, Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn, be freed from the clutches of Pluto. I am so ready for this to be over. But like, this is some really kind of intense energy in those first couple of days, because we have on the 1st, Uranus retrograde, Pluto retrograde back or into Capricorn. We then have on the 2nd the new moon in Virgo. On the 4th, Mars enters Cancer, where we'll be getting close to starting the Mars shadow period for its retrograde. Like, it's just so much going on, and that's just like the very beginning of the month. When we go further, we have on the 17th the full moon partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. On the 22nd we have a fall equinox, so the sun enters Libra. We have before Venus enters Scorpio, right before, so earlier that time, we have Venus square. What is Venus square? Let me take a look at what it is because I have it written down. We have Venus in Libra square Pluto in Capricorn right before Venus officially moves into Scorpio at the end of the month. And then on the 26th, we have Mercury enters Libra. There's a lot happening in September, all in preparation for bringing us to a very busy fall. So October kind of leans into that same energy. Not as much going on. Jupiter will go retrograde, Pluto will go direct, full moons and all of that good stuff. New moon, solar eclipse in Libra. In November, we have again some of that same energy. We have Mars enters Leo, Venus enters Capricorn, Saturn goes direct, full moon in Taurus. So it's kind of like a little bit more like calmer energy once we get to November, because in this November, leaning into once we get into December kind of starts a new wave of some energetic things starting to go on with Venus and Mars, which is my favorite thing to talk about. So this is just like a little heads up for the next couple of days to be like ready and prepared. I'm going to talk about what this energy will look like in the next video. Let's get into the very end of August when it comes to astrology. So we have tomorrow on the 28th, the Mercury will be going direct. Yay, fantastic. Maybe some of this foolishness will start to slow itself down. Hopefully we've learned the lessons. We've taken that opportunity to be alchemists in our lives and switch some things up for ourselves. On the 28th, also tomorrow, we have Venus in opposition to Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So this energy is all going to be about like clearing out those things. We've gotten the messages from Mercury, and now we're seeing what we need to be changing, what we need to be adjusting, what we need to be clearing out. And it's getting very clear about like Virgo energy is doing this thing like, hey, get this stuff out the way before we get to Libra season. You don't want this stuff on your scales when it's time to balance out. You want to start maybe anew, or maybe you just want to have different things there. The stuff that's been causing you issues, the things you've been getting these revelations on, the stuff going awry in your relationships, it's time to clear it out, fix it up, change it up, okay? And so since Neptune has been retrograde in July, Venus experienced its superior conjunction right around the same time. So like Venus was really doing its thing in the underworld, trying to say like, hey, recognize what's going awry in your relationships and your connections with your understanding of what your needs are, how you understand and find peace of mind, right? And then Neptune has been like, hey, let's take a look at all these dreams. I know you have really big dreams. There's lots of things you want to achieve, but like, are they realistic? Is there a foundation behind them? Mars and Gemini and Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter's been expanding stuff in Gemini. Mars has been like, hey, let's go out and actually learn about these things. Like, so if you're seeing gaps in your knowledge, in your expertise, in the like things that you need to have a concrete plan of how to move forward with your dreams, like this is the time to go get help. go learn, go take the class. But it's like it's kind of like a very like let's get serious time before we head into some very like rocky energy once we hit September. So take this time to really be like very open and honest. Be very open and honest with the people around you. Be very authentic with yourself. Like it's just time for you to just like take the blinders off, because when Neptune goes direct and then Neptune eventually will move into Aries in 2025, like if you don't have that foundation built, if you don't have the things to make your dreams reality, like it's going to fall from under you. It doesn't have the foundation to stand upon. And Saturn is really trying to do its like wise old man thing. We're trying to build up that wise elder, which I will be having a shadow work series on ancestors and generational blessings and cursings and things like that come with our shadow, our unconscious, and getting in touch with the wise elder in order to like move that energy along, coming up in October. But that wise elder has been like knocking at your door trying to be like, yo, I need you to wake up. And so this is a great time to do that before we get into September. So let's talk September. In September, we have on the first day that Uranus retrograde, and we have Pluto retrograde entering Capricorn. Uranus will be going retrograde. It is still in Taurus. So we are still needing to like renovate, innovate, change things up radically when it comes to our material world, our values, putting those things into alignment that will bring us peace. Physical senses will be at peace. So if the way that you're working, if the way that like money works, if the way that our systems have been in place does not actually bring you a sense of peace, we have been like, oh, that needs to change, right? Because that's what Taurus energy is all about. And so then we have Pluto that's going to go retrograde back into Capricorn. We talked about that just a tiny bit, but we are so ready. I am so ready for this energy to be over. I am just so tired of having to like really take a intense look at where things are out of balance. I feel like my cat's lurking around. Okay, where things are out of balance and where they need to be like shifted in order to create something that is more sustainable, because that's what Capricorn is all about. Sustainability, doing the hard work to survive, to actually make it through the tougher times, the lean times in our life. And that's why Capricorns work so much. That's why Capricorns are so concerned about their material and physical well-being, because they know in order to like climb the mountain, reach the goals, they have to put in the work. They have to do the training to be able to actually accomplish that. Not only just physically, but also psychologically, because they are the sea goat. So they have to balance out that emotional and that physical space. And that's what Pluto is really like bringing in, this very like extreme energy of saying like these systems, these processes, these behaviors, the ways that we think about things and go about things do not work. They are not sustainable. And so when it's going through this final time of this retrograde in Capricorn, those parts of your life that are not sustainable, like especially for my cardinal signs, that have from about 23 degrees to 29 degrees in the cardinal signs, and 30 degrees also. So, and then moving over into the fixed signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. Like you've been really hitting that space of saying, what is it that's going on? Look at the house where Capricorn is showing up. Look at the house where those other cardinal placements are showing up. If you have Cancer, then that's going to be that opposition, a pull there. If you have Libra or Aries, it's a square. So it is like really intense energy. You may have found that like you have had to change jobs, you have had to change your relationships, you have had to change your behaviors, you have had to like pick up new habits, you may have had to move, you may have had to redo how you save money, how you spend money. Lots of things would have been turned around in your life, especially for the Aries and the Libra, because that square energy, it's just tension there. There's not really anything other than being both cardinal signs that's really helping you out there. The energy is it's fire and air, or it's earth and air, and it's fire and earth. Like these things don't necessarily gel, but they can work together, because to get to the heights, you're climbing those heights for Capricorn, the air is clear. You're excelling when it comes to like how you're able to see and think about things, because you'll have a new perspective from reaching those goals. But you have to have the sustainability piece to reach the goals. You got to do the Capricorn side. For fire and earth, fire needs something to burn. So this putting these things in place to help your plans, to help yourself take care of yourself and be successful, can actually help you with your creative process, and having something for that energy, that fire, that Aries energy to work towards. So these things can work together. It's just not as easy as a opposition might be, just because they have that similar like flow of like earth and water. Even though there's still like that tension there, there's that uncomfortableness there, that's that pushing you completely out of your element. Like they can come a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier for them to mesh together. But this is that time. Get serious about it. Say like really, truly put in the work, do the thing, make the changes. If you've been waffling back and forth for the last 16 years and really kind of dragging your feet and not wanting to do it, you do not want when Pluto completely moves in Aquarius, because we've seen a little bit of it. You don't want it to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't let go. I didn't put away the things that really were not working for me. I did not allow myself to be reborn. It is time to be reborn.